Hi and welcome to Bussing with Annie. My name is Annie and today I have a special guest who will be sharing a wonderful story. Mayowa here is a current law student who previously concluded an undergraduate degree and went back to start over. I find that quite unique because I've never heard of it before. The courage. Mayowa, please introduce yourself, mention what you studied before, what you're studying now, why you decided to make that move, and maybe some background info and some things you'd like us to know about you.
Okay, so my name is Mayowa Jolie, and I'm currently a 300 level law student at the University of Lagos. Before now, I studied and graduated from I studied English language at Mayowa University, and almost immediately I entered, immediately I was done, I entered Unilag for law, and I've been at it since then. Generally, I'm a lover of God. I'm actually a very, very serious church girl. So I end up just having family, church, and my academics as like everything I'm surrounded by. Basically nothing more to add, apart from the fact that I'm doing something that I really love at the moment, which is studying law. So.
Oh wow! I mean, you already mentioned what level you are in, but how many years do you think you have left? I don't know how many years.
Thank God you said.
How are studies going so far?
Okay.
How long do you have left?
Okay, so ideally, if the Nigerian factors do not come in, I have just 2 years left. Right, because I'm 300 levels, so year 4 and year 5 left in the university, and one more year in law school. So basically, for me to round off and actually become a lawyer, I have 3 years. Anyway, that's the way it is.
You said you studied English first. Why did you study English?
Okay, so like for English here, I had the admission already, and it did not make sense to just sit down at home. That was the only reason I went to study English. I went in for law, but I was given English, right? So, and I passed. I had merit at the other time, so I went in for English, hoping to transfer. During the course of doing English, I wrote JAM again in my 100 level.
Wow.
I passed, but I did not get into any school. Even my school, I actually applied to OAU when I wrote the second JAM. I didn't get in, and then the one that got me in was JAM I wrote in my 400 level. Yeah, when I was rounding off at OAU. So that's why I went there, because I gained admission. As simple as that.
But what is it about law that you love so much that made you go back to start over for it?
So you see, for me, law was always the thing that I was looking forward to. So right from time, I always wanted to be a lawyer. I know that everybody has that childhood dream, and then everybody's like, wake up, already an adult. For me, I didn't want to wake up from the dream. I didn't want to wake up. And nobody could wake me up. I really love having the law title to my name, at least, right? And that was just the thing for me. I wasn't looking at any other thing.
You said you want the title to your name. Is it just about the title?
So it's not just about the title. It's about, right from time, I've always really loved having a defense for things and trying my best to understand policies. Now, I'm not talking about the political light, but like understand policies and how they are applied, understand the reason why people do what they do, and how to defend them if need be. I've also, and I found all of those things in law. As I grew up, I realized that, this is the kind of person I am. And when I have arguments, quote and unquote, when I'm saying argument, I'm not talking about fights. I'm talking about when I'm discussing with people. I like to delve deep into. I love to know how laws are established, because at the end of the day, the only reason that we are a society, as it were, is because we're governed by laws, right? Even when it doesn't seem like it, we're still governed by a lot of laws. So I really want to know how to apply them. So that's what I find fascinating about law. So it's not about having the law title to my name, no. It's about doing the work that involves having that law title to my name. So that's the point.
Oh, that's amazing. So my next question is, when did you decide it was the best step for you, and how did you summon the courage to actually start over?
Okay, so I always wanted to start over.
It takes a lot of courage to start over.
I always wanted to start over. I was always doing something to get out of where I was. That's in maybe not the school, but like that particular course. First of all, I even showed no interest. You already, like, if I was interested in something, you would see it.
But did you pass?
At least I'm sure I graduate.
Did you pass?
I'm a graduate. I came out with a 2-2, so that's okay. And now I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested. Coming out with a 2-2 is funny because I was barely in class. But the point is, thankfully, I had other interests that built who I am today in school then. Because imagine, I wrote 100 level. I took another jam form in 200. Then I couldn't obviously take in 300, so I left that one out. I was already halfway done. Then 400 is the one that took me here. So I was always trying to get out. So it wasn't about maybe having one kind of courage to go back. It was the fact that that was what my mind was on the entire time.
Was do it. So that means you actually do whatever your mind is set out.
As far as I said, my mind.
No longer.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter how long it will take or what kind of risk it is.
Okay, so you see that how long, right? I thought it out. So like when I finished, I calculated the amount of years I was supposed to use ideally, and I even included strikes, possible strikes, because I had an idea of how strikes could be from my old school, right? Even though we didn't have a lot for my own set, but like I had an idea. So I had everything thought out. It just did not work out.
So tell me, what do you like about your current academic work and what do you find challenging?
Okay, so one thing I like about my current academic work is I'm always very fascinated, or at least at the beginning of each school semester, let me put it that way. I'm always very fascinated in my lecture class. I get tired. Everybody gets tired. Doing your dream does not mean you will not get tired. So like I'm always very fascinated by how law governs every single thing that we do, even down to children and what they do. So right, and every time we have, so when it comes to my current academic life, I'm always fascinated by the new topics and what it has to offer. And I think the only thing that I find challenging is, because my lecturers are great, many of them, not all of them, many of them, the ones in the University of Lagos are amazing, many of them. The one thing I find challenging is just the strike and the incessant breaks that we have, because it breaks off my morale, first of all, and it just destabilizes you. There's a way those unnecessary breaks tend to like suck out the happiness that you have from, achieving your goal, right? It's just a way they try to reduce the high that you have when you start something. So that's like the only challenge that I have, and maybe some problems that come with the school systems, federal school systems in Nigeria. We face that as well at UNILAG. There's just some problems that come with being a student. Like I'm telling you, you can be writing a CBT exam, assuming you're writing a CBT exam that's computer-based test, and the internet goes off. Apart from your internet going off, their website shuts down, and then you have to take the exam again. Or there are just some management issues that they still have being federal schools. If you're a Nigerian, you already know what I'm talking about. So
that's your challenge. You don't find memorizing dates and names challenging?
No, I don't. As far as I read, I'm good. I forget them though because there are too many.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in law, you can't know all the laws. There's no way to know except you're a mad person. When I remember maybe the topic, I remember the concept of the topic. I remember the case.
Oh wow.
Yeah. If you have interest in something,
I hate dates, I hate names, I just don't. So, do you ever for 1 second wish that you never made that decision to start over, especially with the strikes and, the challenges that come with it?
Oh, so that would mean regret, yeah?
Yeah.
Regret. So I don't regret taking this decision. I've never regretted it. I've been frustrated by it.
Yeah.
That's one thing I would say, but I've never regretted it. Because at the end of the day, it's still my dream.
Yeah.
So like, I had a friend tell me, oh, I know you want to dream and all of that, but Nigeria is not the place to dream. I'm like, yes, I get it, but at the same time, it's still my dream. There's just that, there's something that always kickstarts I'll give you an instance. So if assuming maybe I didn't get enough information in class and I go to my tutorial center and we're discussing like a topic,
yeah,
that fire just sparks up. So there's always something to like bring up the joy or the happiness I get from it. Although even if the frustration lasts long, there's always something to. It's just easy. Pick anything you love.
The joy that comes in the morning. Yeah, dreams can be frustrating sometimes, honestly.
Exactly.
Right. But do you ever wish you were in the working class, or maybe you should be at the same level with those people that you originally began with?
I'd have to say yes and no. And the reason will be that the reason I'm saying yes is money. So the thing with being a student is that you are still confined, and if you're a student of UNILAG is a very serious school. Wow. Oh, at least okay. I can say for my faculty, and I can also say for some other people that I know. My faculty takes their work seriously, right? They take their work seriously when it comes to giving tests. Giving tests, and some of them try to come to class as often as possible. So there are restrictions to how much I can work, right? And for those in the working class, there's salary. Yeah. Not a lot of students earn salary. Most students do not earn salary. Students like me, there are other students that actually earn salary. They work full time even as they are students. And recently, companies are not even taking students. That's another thing. So students like me take gigs, and then when there's no gig, there's no money. So the only time that I feel some type of way is when people are shouting, "Oh, salary week," and I know that there's no salary coming in from me. So that gets me teary, because like I need money for the journey, right? I need money, and then so it's always like this. But like I do not feel bad, because right from time I already told myself that my journey was different from every other person's journey. So I have beautiful and amazing friends that support me as well, and they are doing very well in their fields, right? And I'm not intimidated by them. Thankfully, God did not give me friends that will intimidate me with their wealth, right? So, and they help out as much as possible wherever they feel, oh, they are inviting me for something. At the end of the day, they are doing what they want to do. Whether or not people are going with their dreams, they are earning money. I am studying.
So how do you currently cope? Like, how is it for you, especially with the economy? Do you have any side hustles?
Oh yeah. So I pick up a lot of side hustles. First of all, I'm a writer, and I can be a creative writer, but I usually do more of content writing and copywriting and other things for my clients, and they are usually just gigs, so projects, gigs, and anytime any client needs me, I'm there. So at the beginning of my journey, I was actually working. I was actually in an office as their content writer at the time. So I was going to work, going to class. It was very hectic. And soon enough, they made it remote. So I was working both ways, but I couldn't really, at that time, I really couldn't manage working full time. That's me personally. I have other students that work full time and still go to school, and they're still doing well. Right, and then some of my other friends that are students, that are currently students, are doing projects for people so that they can have enough time to study in school and all of that. So for me, I just do gigs, and then I have help from my family. They help me when I cannot help myself, because at the end of the day, I'm just glad that they are supportive. I feel like many people, the reason they don't take these kinds of steps is because they know that it's time for them to like rise up the ladder or something, to start providing for their family and all of that, and that's very understandable. That is life. But if some people had people to support them, yeah, maybe they will do it. So my family, my parents are all like they have their entire bodies in this project. Did I call my life a project?
Yeah, it's a project now.
Well, that's just my own experience.
Well, that's great. Support is actually important, and there are some steps that you cannot actually take if you have people depending on you. For example, now you have a whole family, and then you decide that, oh, you're going back to school, you want to quit your job. There are just some things that will hinder you from
exactly.
So you have to be very considerate. Exactly. But it's good that you have your family supporting.
Exactly.
So yeah, you mentioned that you had side hustles. How do you think people can come in? How can they patronize you? What can you offer them?
Okay, so for my services, I write content. So I'm a content writer. Actually, I'm an SEO content writer and copywriter. SEO is my forte. At least I do well with SEO content writing, and I also train people on SEO content writing and all that entails.
Okay, so if people want to book your services, how do they go about that?
You can reach out to me via email, via WhatsApp.
All right. So I'm going to drop your email and your contacts.
Yeah, in the description, yes. So.
All right. So if you need those services, content writing, and you need a freelancer.
Yes, I'm the girl for the job.
So do you think you'd further your studies, maybe get a master's and PhD after this?
Everybody's asking, and yes, why not?
A PhD?
Yes, why not? So let me tell you something.
This one like school.
Okay, masters, and it doesn't have to be now. So I think that what bothers people is now.
Oh yeah, true.
Right, it doesn't have to be now. It can just be a plan in
the future.
Yeah, exactly. But it's something I'm looking forward to.
Okay, so I think the reason why people bother about now is because, okay, it's, it's generally expected that, okay, maybe you go ahead to have a family if you plan to. You go ahead to have a family, and when you have such responsibilities,
it's difficult.
Like, life just gets in the way later in the future. So that's why people like to get all those things done with now,
earlier.
So what's the trajectory for you? What do you see as the ultimate catch? Is it just luck?
Okay, so I really want to be a senior advocate, but that is becoming a bit difficult in Nigeria. But I think if I was going to shift my gaze from being a senior advocate in Nigeria, I would say I want to be what I would call, it's not a general term, what I would call a versatile lawyer, where I can pick up, because there are so many niches in law. Yes, just because your friend is studying law does not mean that they can break you out of jail anytime. Some people are not going to ever be in court and they are lawyers. Please. Some people are company lawyers, they deal with money and transaction. Oh, sorry.
A myth that should be bust.
Yes, so more like what I aim to do, it's not advice, but I really want to explore that. That's something I want to explore. Is I want to be able to delve into at least three or four. Please, any of my senior colleagues that hearing this, please don't hold me. But I want to be able to delve into 3-4 different niches. Hopefully some of them are linked, because usually many of them are not, but hopefully some of them are linked. So like I want to be versatile enough to do that, right? So that's like the point, because at the end of the day, you want to do what will fetch you financial independence and stability. Right? So I want my dream to fetch me financial independence and stability, and to be able to do that, I would like to have my feet in different areas. So that's like the catch, at least at the moment, for me.
Okay. So what career path do you think you'd like to delve into in the long run? Given that it's now a norm to work so hard towards something and eventually digress. I've seen people study law, medicine, accounting. I am even one of those people, because I studied accounting for 4 years. I went through the rigorous process of becoming a chartered accountant, and if anyone knows I can, they will know that it's not even a joke at all. Like, you can actually just keep failing and you just keep writing until you pass.
Oh, God.
So yeah, I went through that process, but I chose not to study. I chose not to practice anymore. So do you think that it's possible that there's any chance that you finish all of this and then decide not to practice law again?
My mother will behead me.
So, now a norm.
My father is going to disown me, but I know that. I don't know if there will be a chance, because I want to make it work. I pray it's not difficult, because I know it's difficult for a couple of people, and some people also have it easy. But what I want to do is I want to make law work for myself, right? And also find avenues to ensure that I am not broke. It's not, but like, you get the point. So it's not about whether or not it's not going to work. It's whether or not I want to make it work, and I really want to make it work. At the time of this video, I want to make law work for me. I can't come this far, and it's just, do you know how many years? Should I tell you how many years?
Okay.
So right now, I gained admission 2019, got into school in 2020, right? We got into school because they decided that they wanted to take a break. So we didn't resume on time. We were supposed to resume December 2019, but thankfully it was just January 2020. This is 2024 February, so I'm supposed to be in 400 level. I'm 300 level. So that means I've spent 4 years here. I spent 4 years over there. That's 8 years. And I'm not even done. And I still have like 3 years more. So you can't spend 11 years on something and you have, exactly.
Those are studying medicine and you digress.
Well, I don't know. But I don't think I will waste my 11 years. It's going to work.
Amen.
It's going to work.
Amen.
Yeah, I was also going to ask you, why did you decide that you were not going to go that, like, you were not going to take that line?
Accounting. Oh well, why did I even study accounting? Okay, so I think what's motivated me to go in that direction. When I was young, I had this nickname, NEB. My dad and his friend, they used to call me NEB. I think B stood for banker. So somehow I thought I was supposed to fulfill the prophecy of that nickname.
Yeah.
So I went ahead to secondary school. I'm like, yes, I'm supposed
They
to
used to call me the lot too.
I'm supposed to go to commercial class. So I went to commercial class. Accounting was our major course then. And I passed accounting. I'm like, yes, A1. This is the course I know very well. This is what I'm supposed to do. I went to university. I studied accounting. Not all the courses were good. But yeah, I did well. I did well because, 2-1 with a 4 point something. So it was almost a first class. So I'm like, okay, yes, some school. After school,
You did very well, please.
Yeah, I did very well.
In Nigerian school, right?
Yeah, I actually did very well. I did very well. So after school, I'm like, okay, I need to be an accountant. Maybe I'll just start from assistant accountant to then I'll move. But then after practicing for like 2 years, I'm like, what on earth is this?
Practice for 2 years.
What's going on here? At the point where I was almost done, I already knew that I didn't want to do accounting again because I had no passion for it. It was not motivating. I felt like I was not actually fulfilling anything. And I did not just see myself in the shoes of the people that were already ahead of me. But at that point, I said I was trying to decide whether I should complete my ICANN. But it just didn't make sense to just stop. I was like already at the last stage. I just had like 2 papers bringing me back and back. But yeah, I made up my mind I was going to finish it. I finished it in 2021 and I became chartered. So now I have the title and it's working for me in other areas, not just accounting.
Not just accounting. Yeah. But at least you have it.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
It's actually paving some ways for me because I'm able to, there's just some things I'm working on.
You might actually get a job, maybe not as an accountant, maybe as an analyst because of that.
Yes.
Maybe a financial analyst that would earn you, I don't know. It depends on our dreams, on what you want to do.
No, don't worry, it's not in finance. I'm not doing finance.
You're not doing finance.
But yeah, that's ACA title is actually helping me,
many other ways.
Pass through some doors.
Beautiful.
But it's not
beautiful.
I'm not doing accounting.
Beautiful.
If an opportunity arises for you to practice abroad, do you think that you have to go through all this process again?
Oh no, and so I won't have to go through the undergraduate process anymore. As far as I attend law school in Nigeria, I'm already a lawyer in the country, so I'll just need to attend there. So usually how it works is you need to pass exams for the bar of that particular country to work in that country. Usually, the least you have is a year.
Okay.
The least you have is a year, which is actually which is what it's. If it's not New York, it's what it. If it's UK, it's what it.
It's worth it.
Exactly, it's really worth it. I don't want to be confined to Nigeria.
Yeah, please don't be confined.
Yes, I don't intend to because you will not make money. You will make plenty money.
I do not advise such. What mistakes have you learned from so far that really stood out for you in your journey?
I think that in my journey, one thing I have learned from and I'm still learning from is to not belittle certain things. So there's some things that I overlooked that, I've been there before. And I did not realize that it's a new journey even if you've done it before. It's a new experience even if you've done it before. You're supposed to give in enough effort for that new experience even though you've passed through before. Sometimes because you have a dream, you feel like, that dream is going to work out so much. You tend to over-familiarize yourself, do you understand, with the idea of your dream. You forget that there's hard work to do. You forget that there's a lot of work you need to put in, like every other person.
Yeah.
Right? Some things come easy to you, so sometimes you forget that Work still needs to be done. Exactly.
Speak to me. Just call my name.
So just because it comes easy to you does not mean that you do not need to put in the work. Like reading a day to the exam is not good. It's not good. I will get the mark. I'll get a okay mark, but it's not the mark I'm looking for, so it's not good.
So what advice would you give a person who is trying to decide on whether to go back to have another bachelor's because they could not get what they wanted in the beginning, and they feel like getting another bachelor's is what's best to get in achieving their overall goal?
Okay. First of all, wherever you are, if you are done already and you want to go immediately or something like that, please sit down. I did it as well, so I'm advising you to sit down, take out a pen and a note, write down your reasons for going back. Are these reasons valid? Some people's dreams, when it comes to maybe their childhood dreams, are not as strong as their interest in having money in their account, right, and being able to take care of their family at the moment, at least, right? If you do something outside of your focus, your actual focus, is going to frustrate you, because that's when you see your friends excelling and it will be difficult for you to be happy for them because you are also not where you want to be in life. Write down if you actually intend to use this course in the future. Yes, hope you're not doing it. Don't do it for any other person than yourself, and do not do anything that God has not given you a go ahead for, or God has not instructed you to do. Do you understand? Do not do anything that God has not given you a go ahead for, that you know in your spirit that God is okay with this. So I would say go for it and go as early as possible, right? If you can. For me, I went immediately. And please don't go to a Nigerian school. Oh my God! Don't go to a Nigerian school. If you can. Yes, I couldn't. I'm sorry. And then I couldn't for many reasons. I had instructions from God, and then I could not afford it. There's no way. I did not have 15 million. Exactly. 15 million naira. If Nigeria still is for you, you can go to I think you can go to state schools that won't go on strike. Just pick schools that will not go on strike, or go to a private school. Adults might not want to go to a private school because they don't want to be sheltered. But to be honest, private schools work well, way better than.
So that's all for today's session. Thank you so much for
I'm grateful to be on your platform.
Thank you for sharing your story. I mean, it's quite unique, and I really hope that you found the story interesting like I did. Thank you so much for watching. All right, please do leave a comment.
Constructive.
So please do leave a comment on what you think about her decision to study. All right. So I'm going to leave her details in the description box below. Please do check it out. She says she offers SEO writing services, content writing, and others. So please check out
SEO writing training for beginners as well. I train beginners, people that do not know how to write. I train them on SEO writing. Even if you know how to write, but you don't know how to write SEO content, I train beginners.
All right. Yes. So you can always reach out to her. I'm going to leave her contact details in the description. So please, we would like you to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on all post notifications. And please don't fail to share with somebody who will find this helpful. If you know somebody who is on the same journey or on the same path, please share this video with them. You can learn one or two. See ya.